Let's get into the latest here around the Seattle Seahawks because they just went out and signed a cornerback, Pierre Desir. He's headed to Seattle. He agreed to a 1-year deal, and unfortunately we don't have the contract details yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. He's played with the New York Jets, the Indianapolis Colts, and last season he spent time with the Baltimore Ravens. When I look at the type of player that he is, he's a long and lanky corner. That's exactly what Seattle likes to be able to go out and get. Plus, a lot of his traits, he might not be the best coverage cornerback, but he likes to tackle. And anytime I can find a corner that wants to be aggressive, that likes to come up and really wrap guys up, that's really, I think, something that Seattle's looking for. 2020, he had a pretty good year, 49 tackles, 3 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 30 years old. 2019 was a little bit of a struggle, at least I personally think so, especially in the coverage game. 2018, probably his best year over the last 3 seasons from top to bottom. And in fact, according to Pro Football Focus, he had above 90 grade in stopping the run and above an 80 grade in 2018 in coverage. Those are pretty good numbers here. But what I want you to look at is this, where he lined up on defense last season for the Baltimore Ravens. 806 times he lined up as an outside corner. What does that mean? Look for him to play outside corner in the Seattle defense, which corner is definitely a major need looking at the draft. He lined up 57 times on the defensive line. For those of you that don't think that's a lot, actually it is kind of a high number for a cornerback. And he lined up 30 times in the box and then 10 times in the slot. So for everyone out there wondering, why did they make this move? Why did they go ahead and bring in Desir? He is going to be an outside corner. Now, I don't think he's going to start, but he's at least a little bit more of some extra depth, which, if you're a Seahawks fan, if you're a member of the 12s, I think we would all agree, you needed a little bit extra depth last season, and the fact that you lost some other key players on the outside, that's realistically what you're trying to see here. Now, I think what Seattle has done building the front four, bringing guys back like a Carlos Dunlap, bringing a guy like, Benny Mayowa, they're doing a good job being able to get after the quarterback. Then all it comes down to is if a guy like Desir, who does actually have some pretty good ball skills, if you can get a bad throw, he can turn that into an interception. So as it stands right now, here's the Seahawks cornerback depth chart, and as you can see, we got him lined up underneath the cornerback 2 role there, so he's going to be competing, I think, also with a guy like Flowers. We don't believe that he's going to be a nickel, but you got Witherspoon, you got Reed. They're still slotted to be your top 2 corners, at least. That's what we believe here at Chat Sports heading into Week 1, and I'll tell you what, I know it's April, but man, I already cannot wait for some Seahawks and just for some NFL football in general. Seahawks fans, if you like the Desir signing, what I want you to do is smash that like button. Now, it's been a while since we've had a video with a ton of likes, so if you could, please, I want you to like the video, and if you want to go down in the comments, you want to be an overachiever, tell me why you like the signing. At the end of the day, this is more of just a depth type of move, but he is a little bit older, which I think helps out certain teams here. So if you like the move of the Seahawks signing Desir, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button. 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Their slogan is, your balls will thank you. You know why? Because once you get done using these things, your girlfriend might also thank you. The Lawnmower 3.0, it is the best way to make sure that your underarms are shaved. Maybe you want to trim up your chest. I mean, let's be real. It's not too far away from beach season. You don't want to be like Bigfoot walking out there. Hair is going to be just dragging all over the place. No, we don't need that. Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. And hint, nudge, nudge. These boxers over here, I'm telling you what, right now, the boxers sell themselves. I would pay the entire package, the perfect package, just to get the boxers. They are that comfortable, and it is about to be the summertime as well. I don't know about you. I sweat down below. Make sure you get the ball deodorant. Make sure you get the ball toner. A few spritz, a few sprays here. You're good to go. Get the perfect package available. Manscaped.com/chat. The next story we're going to be bringing up here is around Quandre Diggs, and could Seattle potentially trade him? So shout out to Stacey Rose of ESPN. She did a nice, fun little mailbag, answered a few different questions. One of the questions that she was asked was, hey, do you think Seattle could go ahead and trade Quandre Diggs? Because let's face it, they don't have a lot of draft capital. They have a 2nd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 7th-round pick. So do you potentially move on from a player and also save some money? That way you could get some extra draft capital. They also throw in there, well, hey, I mean, if you're going to pay Jamal Adams because he is going to be due that extension, he's going to make a lot of money. It just could be something that you do right now that pays off in the future. So anytime I see trade, I'm like, all right, I'm interested. Let's talk about it. Before we get into my 2 cents on whether or not they're going to do it or not, I mean, he had 64 tackles last year, 5 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, only 28 years old, and sure, he might be a little bit undersized in terms of what a strong safety is, but this dude's thick, and he's not afraid to come up and lay the wood, right? So Quandre Diggs, good player. I thought filled in pretty well last year. Some of the numbers are a little bit, we'll say, bolstered. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Or boosted because they were getting thrown on a lot. So Diggs, good player, but I don't think the numbers are like 5 interceptions, 10 pass breakups. Like, he's not a top 10 safety by any means. But let me know down in the comment section. What do you guys think? Should Seattle go ahead and trade Diggs? Why for yes and for no? He's a good player. The secondary definitely struggled last year for Seattle. It's also kind of a weaker position for this team. When you have a guy like Jamal Adams who does a lot of his work in the box or trying to get after the quarterback with 9.5 sacks, maybe it's smarter to have Diggs back there. However, if you are trying to be able to make Russell Wilson happy, and let's say you could trade Diggs and get a second or third round pick, that might be a little bit high, then maybe you invest that into the offensive line and keep him happy. So should Seattle trade Diggs? Why for yes? Or I want you to type N for no. If you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports on YouTube. We've been the #1 most watched draft coverage for 3 straight years. So if you're looking for more content around the NFL draft, if you're looking for more content in general, please go ahead and subscribe. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. The next segment we're going to kind of get into here is around Seattle and who they should end up bringing onto the team. So I saw a little article out there from Fansided that said that there are 3 players Seattle, and I'm going to use this word, needs to bring back. The first name is KJ Wright. And do they need to bring back KJ Wright? Yes, the deal obviously depends. But, I mean, you're talking about a linebacker that offers you so much on and off the field. The reason why I have a problem with this article is because when you say needs and you started off with KJ Wright, I'm like, okay, you have my attention. And then the next player you bring up that they need is Geno Smith. If you're typing need and Geno Smith in the same sentence, I mean, you should have alarms going off. Like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Does Geno Smith maybe fit what they're trying to do as a backup quarterback? Sure. But for you to say that they need Geno Smith, I'm simply going to say you need to do something else. And then the last player they ended up bringing up here is Nico Thorpe. No disrespect to Nico Thorpe. They do not need to bring him back. The only guy that they actually do need to do that to is KJ Wright. Does Thorpe offer you some ability in special teams? Sure. And, like, is that important? Yes. Is he a good locker room guy? Yes, he is. But anytime you see certain articles out there, the other reason why we do shows here at Chat Sports is simply because I don't want people brainwashing you. So the bottom line is this, and I want everyone to go down in the comments and type need, because the only need out of the list of 3 players that you just saw is KJ Wright. And if anybody disagree with me, let me know. Please holler at me. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. But, like, for Seattle, if you can find out a way to bring him in, and I do think it's actually kind of curious that he's still out there. I do think that he wants maybe a little bit more money, even though he is a linebacker, which might not be the most important position, but I'm curious to see what he ends up doing, and this could be a player like a lot of veterans out there, waiting until the NFL draft is over and then signing with a team.